Hey, this is Katie Clark's video project on Stephen King. So I would like all of you to pay attention, stay awake in the back, get up, you're sleeping, open your eyes. Yep, so here we go!
My wife, my kids, they see me one way, but something happens when you write. Something that's not a normal thing. Whoever I am, when I'm not walking around, that's one person, but somebody else writes the book. That was a quote that Stephen King said about his writing. A little background about Stephen King is he grew up in Durham, Maine. When his dad left when he was younger, he lived with his mom and his adopted older brother. And because his dad left, his mom had to find work, so they moved from different states like Indiana to Connecticut and then back to Maine when he was 11. Point number one of my thesis is King's childhood tragedies. When King was 2 years old, his dad said that he was going out to buy a pack of cigarettes, but never came back. So that was very tragic for him, especially being only 2 years old, having an adopted older brother, and just living with his mom. Apparently, according to his mom and his friend's mom, he also witnessed his friend being hit and killed by a train, which is also very tragic. And the quote I'm about to tell you is from Stephen King, and it's from an interview about his childhood. I was prey to a lot of conflicting emotions as a child. I had friends and all that, but I often felt unhappy and different, estranged from other kids my age. So he had friends, but he kind of put himself away from them. This shows up in his books because there's a character in his book named Stebbins that's a loner and doesn't make friends throughout the book. So he shows himself through Stebbins throughout the book. And also, the main character in the book doesn't have a father figure, just like King didn't have a father figure. Point number two. King had a fear of rejection. As I said before, his dad left when he was younger, so he felt rejected in that way. And also during his first year at college, he wrote his first full-length novel called The Long Walk. But when he went to go get it published, the publishers denied him and said it wasn't good enough. Also, Stephen King wrote under a pen name. He had two pen names, actually. Richard Bachman and John Swithin. Yeah. Stephen King created Bachman because he said that Richard Bachman could say things and write things that Stephen King couldn't. So he created a whole backstory for Richard Bachman and pretended to be him because he was afraid of being rejected. This shows up in Stephen King's books because the main character is constantly being rejected by girls, other people during the walk, his parents, and the major in the military. Point number three. King was in a severe car accident in 1999. The guy was on the shoulder. He wasn't on the road at all. If I had been walking in the road, I wouldn't have been touched. I got one look, and the next thing I knew, I was looking at the back end of the van. That was a quote that Stephen King gave when he was being interviewed by Katie Couric. This car accident could have been fatal, but it didn't. He spent 3 weeks in critical condition at the main hospital with ruptured lungs, broken ribs, head trauma, broken bones, you name it, he had it. He was hit by a blue minivan that was distracted by their dog owner while he was walking on the side of the road. His close to death experience had influenced his writing because all of his books have death in it, whether it's gory or not, which most of them are really gory and tragic. But all of it takes place in his writing, clearly, especially in The Long Walk, which is the book I read, because all of the characters have to die except for one. That's the whole book. Everybody dies but the one person, and he is considered the winner of The Long Walk. In conclusion, my 3 points to my thesis were that King's tragic childhood, his car accident, and his fear of rejection have greatly influenced his writing. That's the video. Thanks for watching.
I had a long week, life is short, I'ma do it right now. Oh yeah, this for me, I don't know what might go down. Ugly, I'm gone, and I can't even see. So I'ma do what I want to, do what I want. You should do the same with me. And we could be together for the rest of our life, or maybe just for the rest of the night. I'm hoping that I don't get arrested tonight. Waking up to say we did yesterday, right?
I said you want.
Fear of rejection? Sure. When, during the long walk.
Don't know where we're going, but we're all gonna go. And this for the women, bringing women around. Don't know where to sleep, but they'll figure it out. I'm in a good spot, got 4 or 5 in me. All these girls looking the same.
Rate it.
What do you think to give that one? You know?